Hello for the 31st Sunday in Ordinary Time, using the first reading, Deuteronomy 6, verses 2 to 6, in the Gospel of Mark 12:28 to 34. And the title sort of is Divine Love Neighbor. Well, let's start with that divine. You know, the early Israelites, or the Jews, in their early history, they dealt with the divine. And their concept of the divine was way back. It was very tribal. And it really did sort of contain a mixture of each tribe sort of leaned in the direction of a given divinity. But in due times, all of those tribes and all of those gods, and the greatest contribution the Jewish people made to the world was they pulled all these tribes together and came up with one God, one divinity. And all other divinities or tribal gods they're false, because there's only one God. And this, in their history, was a continued revelation from God, who is only one God. I am the Lord your God. You shall not have strange gods before me. And that contribution, started with Abraham, 1850, and continued until Jesus Christ, who was God. One God, all other gods are false. Well, with Judaism then, Judaism and that one God concept is the foundation of revealed religion and the foundation of Judaism, Islam, and Christianity. There's only one God. Well, in today's world, we know the world approaches this and interprets this, and they seem to be very diverse in who is this one God. And so the Palestinians, the Jews, and the Christians, the Russian, and the Chinese, well, I can't even tell you their concept of God. I think it's so multiple. Who or what is this divine? Bottom line, there's one God. Well, what about that one God? Well, you're supposed to love the one God. What is love? Good question. We can only just talk about it a little. In gospel, Jesus, that was his prime theme, and it's in today's gospel. Love. Listen to me. Hear, O Israel, listen to me. Love the Lord your God with your whole heart, mind, and soul. So love is of God, is the message of God, is the essence of what life is all about. And you're supposed to love. That's another word. Trying to explain God, trying to explain love. Love. Love is more than feelings and trying to do good deeds. Love involves justice and ethical practices and do what is right. Love is willingness and being open to doing good. not only for yourself, but for others. Love is taken in concrete little baby steps to become more of a lover, a better lover. Love deals with yourself, and love deals with self-reflection, and love deals with holiness and wholeness of the individual. Love leads to nonviolence and engagement with all of life, not just yourself, and not just humans, your neighbors, but it even brings us to all of creation, to love Mother Earth. And we know in today's world, we seem to have abused Mother Earth. And we are threatened now, maybe, because of the abuse or the effects of what we have done with Mother Earth. And so we're called to even love Mother Earth. Third question, who is my neighbor? Well, your neighbor is that other person, the other. Or your neighbor is all of the others, or all other. As I said, going from self to other people to Mother Earth. It's not just me. It's not just my family. It's not your relatives. It's not just my race. It's not just my country. It's all others. And so that's what Christ really is talking about. And in Judaism, they'll say, well, we'll follow the Torah, you know. And in Christianity, follow the will of God. And all of that. Who or what is divine? What is love? And who is my neighbor? And that's it. It's it, but it gets complicated. But Jesus really sort of summarizes all of that in love God, love yourself, and love your neighbor. It's sort of interesting in the gospel when that young scribe or that scribe comes to Jesus and said, you know, what's the greatest? He's referring to Judaism and the Torah. And Jesus tells him. And then Jesus really gives another, if you do all this, Jesus said, and he says to this guy, well, this guy, first of all, said to him, well said. And Jesus rebuts that or answers that or gives his opinion and says, you, scribe, you are not far from the kingdom of God. And so any person who does that, his attitude or her attitude toward divinity, his or her attitude toward themselves, and their attitude toward all other people, no matter what religion they are or country they come from. I think Jesus said, you are not far from the kingdom of God. It's too much to understand or too much to talk about, but I think it's true. Divinity has intervened. Love in it is present or not present. And we're headed toward a kingdom of God. Have a good day.